You guys really couldn't wait an actual 28 years to drop this movie? Okay, alright, there goes that joke. Well, let's talk about 28 years later. Hey guys, HOIT Abbott here. Welcome to my review for 28 years later. I want to apologize if I sound a little bit hoarse at any time during this review, if I cough a little bit. I haven't felt the greatest since yesterday. I'm recovering. If you guys haven't seen 28 Years Later, then this will contain spoilers. I'm going to do a non-spoiler short little review. I'm going to start doing those. So, yeah, you guys will have that as well. So, yeah, if you haven't seen the film, this review will contain spoilers. So you definitely want to click off, go see the film, and then come back. And also, if you haven't seen 28 Days Later or Weeks Later, I may bring that up. Some stuff that happens in those at one point in this review. But anyway, this is a movie that I was highly looking forward to because that trailer, that first trailer that they put out for this movie was insane. One of the best trailers that I've seen for a movie in a long time. It was incredible. And this movie stars Aaron Taylor Johnson, Alfie Williams, Jodie Comer, Ralph Fiennes. You even have Jack O'Connell near the end there. Cillian Murphy is not in this movie. He's going to be in the next movie, I believe. 28 years later, I believe it's called The Bone Temple, Bone Kingdom, something like that. And they actually filmed that back to back with this movie, so they're pretty confident in this movie if they've already filmed a second film and they already have a third one planned. This is a planned out new trilogy. And for starters, I just want to say that Alfie Williams is probably the standout of this movie as Spike, who is this kid that's taken out by his father, Jamie, played by Aaron Taylor Johnson, on this kind of expedition of sorts to kind of to prove his manhood. He's 12 years old now, and his dad feels like he's ready to go into the outside world and face some of the infected. And that's really where the trailers, that's what the trailers sell you on, is that this is a coming-of-age thing where Jamie is taking Spike out here into the world, showing him the ropes, how to survive, get his first infected kill. However, the concept of the movie of Spike and Jamie going on this expedition to prove, Spike's, manhood and prove that he is ready to go out there into the world, that's only a small piece of the puzzle. This movie really doesn't go by what the trailers tell you. If you were hoping for, this father-son journey the entire time, you're not getting that. The first 40 minutes of the movie, you get that expedition, you get Jamie teaching his son the ways of surviving, and Spike's kind of optimistic at first. He's excited to kind of prove himself to his father, but then he gets out there and he realizes that it's crazy out here. Things can go bad really quickly, and he does get scared multiple times. He isn't able to quite get his aim correctly because he's being chased down by these fast infected, including this alpha. That half of these infected in this movie are just nakeds, and this alpha, I mean, I wasn't trying to look, but man, you thought Nosferatu was packing? This dude, dick is just flopping everywhere. I was like, holy shit, dude. Can we cut away a little bit? But anyway, you get them returning to their home, and Jamie's kind of building Spike up as this hero. I was like, oh, we were in trouble, we were on the run, but he was nailing his shots. He did a fantastic job. And then you get to see Jamie is not very good. Yeah, in this movie, the dad is having an affair because Jodie Comer's character is kind of ill. We find out later in the film that it's cancer, and she is put out of her misery by Ralph Fiennes' character, this doctor that they find. Which, by the way, Ralph Fiennes I'm only going to touch on very lightly because that's all the movie does. They just touch on him very lightly. He comes in towards an hour and 30 minutes into the film, hour 35, something like that, and you get about 20 minutes of him, and that's really it. That is really it. And I was disappointed because he was one of my most anticipated parts of this movie, and they barely utilize him. I hope he's gonna be in the next one. I fucking hope so. But yeah, Spike sees his father having an affair, and then he also notices how, like, the father isn't really trying as well to, help the mom and, help her fight through this sickness. So he's like, you want her to die so you can be with this other woman. And he hits Spike in that moment, and he's like, just leave us alone, Dad. And then Spike comes up with a plan. He sets a fire, and he gets Jodie Comer, his mom, out of there. And they leave, and they go into the outside world where they face hordes of infected. There's a soldier guy that helps them out at one point. He doesn't last very long. And then they come across this pregnant, infected lady who gives birth to a child that is somehow not infected. It's a normal baby, which it just didn't make sense to me. Like, we never touched on that in the other films. Like, is that really how that would work? I mean, in other zombie media, if you get bit, if you're pregnant, your baby is going to be, a fucking zombie. Like, Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead. There was a zombie baby in that movie. For them to do this really weird risk where they're like, yeah, babies can survive now if you get them out of an infected person quick enough, I guess. They can live and they can be healthy. I was like, wait, how? How does that make sense? Is the baby going to be immune like the kid in 28 weeks later? Or what? So, the movie definitely takes some risks that I wasn't fond of, underutilizes certain characters for sure. Like I said, Alfie Williams is really the standout here, even when he's going to toe-to-toe with someone that I really admire for his acting, Aaron Taylor-Johnson. He does a great job. He holds his own in those scenes. I really did enjoy the character drama between him and the mom, that bond there. I was feeling some of that, but it just was lacking some of that classic 28 days later kind of feel, where this movie is so tonally inconsistent, where they're cracking jokes with this soldier guy in one moment, and then the next scene you get this really dark scene with this pregnant infected zombie lady, and then you get a scene where they're being chased by the Alpha, and it's really intense, and then you get Ralph Fiennes' character, he's joking around, but then you get a moment where Jodie Comer's character is revealed to have cancer, and that she's dying, and then she dies. Ralph Fiennes puts her out of her misery, so that's sad. But then we go back to optimistic, and then in the end, Jack O'Connell's character shows up with this group of people that start fighting off the infected in such a out-of-nowhere, cartoonish, anime fight-like manner. It's so weird. I can't describe it. It just really was very off-putting. So the ending was off-putting. There were several decisions that I wasn't fond of. The action sequences are really great. The infected are disgusting. Like I said, the acting is very well done. I just wish that the story was told a little bit better and had a bit more of that classic feel to it. This movie doesn't really feel like it fits in this world, especially in the end. Like, what the fuck was that? If you've seen the film, you know what I'm talking about. But I'm giving 28 Years Later 7 out of 10. I still think it's an enjoyable enough movie. I liked it. I wanted to love it, especially after that trailer. But what can I say? It just didn't end up living up to the hype. So I'm going to go before I lose my voice. Thanks so much for watching the review. I'll have a non-spoiler review out, giving some more basic thoughts if you guys want to see that. If not, you'll have to wait for the June ranking to hear more about this film. But until then, hope you guys are staying safe out there. Don't get, sick. Stay healthy. And I'll see you guys in the next review. Take care and goodbye.